security guard gunned down outside of election ballot drop box in Northeast Baltimore.
That early morning shooting is now raising new questions about election security. Fox 45's Riel Creighton is live with the story. Riel?
Okay, and Mary, investigators do not believe that shooting was related to one of these election ballot drop boxes, but still, because of how close it happened to one of them, it is driving new fears about safety around these boxes and to what degree now they are all being watched. Here.
Two girls hear the blast from blocks away early morning, just before 5 a.m.
A loud sound.
Yeah, it was about 5 or 6 shots or something.
Read the sign. This official Maryland election ballot drop box under surveillance did nothing to stop gunmen, police say, from attacking an unarmed 24-year-old security guard guarding this box. Detectives say video shows men approach him, try to open his car door. When he refuses, they shoot him. He's expected to live. Late Thursday, Fox 45 found security remains outside and at another ballot box miles away. It's not clear if all are under guard.
When you're talking 4 or 5 in the morning, it's still dark outside.
State Senator Corey McCray has been outspoken about ensuring ballot boxes are evenly distributed. He says security standing watch should always come in too, for their safety and the public's.
If someone watching your daily routine and see opportunity for a crime.
Investigators say video points to a failed robbery, not election tampering, saying the suspects didn't appear to be targeting the box and never even touched it. Bottom line, says McCray, beef up security.
Well, we did reach out to the Baltimore City Election Director, Armistead Jones. He did not want to talk to us tonight. The Board of Elections, however, did send condolences to the victim's family. Again, that victim was taken to the hospital. He is expected to live. Meantime, we learned that the shooting, meantime, there is no word again on the suspects in this shooting.
Major questions about the security of the election process in Baltimore and about the brave men and women guarding those sacred boxes without weapons. Well, one of the unarmed guards at a Baltimore area was shot while on duty. Mackenzie Frost is live in Baltimore right now with more on how that guard is doing and efforts to keep those boxes safe. Mackenzie?
Okay, the shooting of this guard raises more questions about the security of the election. The guards are outside the boxes 24 hours a day and they're unarmed. The risks are hard to ignore, but one guard I spoke with today says those risks do not outweigh protecting the election. Ballot drop boxes popping up all over the city, while voters like Sam Draper drop off his ballot across the street. Darrell Williams keeps his eye on everything.
Just watching the drop box over here, making sure people safely vote in a safe manner.
Unarmed, watching the drop box at Barclay Elementary School.
We all out here, we really out here on our own risk. Nobody watching over us.
When a security guard was shot during an overnight shift at Achievement Academy,
A loud sound.
the shots rang through the neighborhood.
It was about 5 or 6 shots or something.
I was kind of shocked when I heard it because today is my first day actually doing this.
But not enough to stop him from showing up for his first day to be protecting.
I'm gonna keep watching the box. Be smart about it though. So if I see anything going on, don't try to be Mr. Hero. Go about it in a smart way. Call the police.
Williams says each box in the city, all 33, will eventually have someone like him sitting in an unmarked car. Still a potential target in a city with shootings almost daily.
Definitely a risk, but life a risk. Every day we wake up in the morning a risk.
For Williams,
you gotta stay focused on the mission and what you're here for. Yeah, of course the money good, but like I said, I want to be a part of the community in a helpful way, helping us progress. And voting is important.
he says democracy is worth the risk.
So we still don't know how much money the city is spending on these guards outside these ballot drop boxes. I've reached out several times to the city's election department and the city's elections director, Armistead Jones, but I have not heard back.
Coverage of a city in crisis.
We begin with Fox 45's Alexa Ashwell live outside City Police headquarters, a story you're seeing first on Fox. Alexa?
Yes, Kai, Mary, we're here outside police headquarters, and I want to point out these gates. They're here to protect the building and its people, but 15 minutes away from where we are right now at the Northwestern District, the precinct is being targeted, and it's not the first time.
In Northwest Baltimore.
Random person cutting through the lot, not a police officer.
That was not a police officer?
Nope. The easy access through the Baltimore Police Department's precinct parking lot.
You shouldn't be able to just simply walk onto the lot from the outside.
Is a big concern to city leader Councilman Yitzi Schleifer.
There's just no security on this lot. It's completely dangerous for the officers.
That danger felt here. 2 more incidents of someone targeting police using a rock to damage the building or officer vehicles.
People throwing rocks and bricks through the windows. We've had previous incidents where people have filled officers' tailpipes, as you know, can cause carbon monoxide poisoning.
The Baltimore Police Department sharing these photos, saying the precinct has been targeted a total of 4 times in the past 2 months.
Just a few weeks ago, you had the Major's office window. A brick was thrown through that.
Back in August, police made an arrest. The commissioner then writing in part, acts of aggression and violence against our officers and police property will not be tolerated. And the men and women of the Baltimore Police Department continue to work hard and make sacrifices to make our city safer.
They like coming to work, but they don't like their working conditions.
Schleifer is pleading either update this facility or move it to another location.
The commissioner can simply put this on the top list of stations that either need to be rebuilt or relocated or a combination of both. And, you know, he could do that with capital funds that the police department has. The mayor's office can certainly do that.
Prioritizing those who protect and serve.
Now, the councilman says this has been a topic for about a year. We're asking the mayor's office and police department about it. We'll let you know what we learn.
Our top story at 10 o'clock, a continuing danger on city streets. Tonight we're talking about illegal dirt bike riding. This video captured around 8 last night in Fells Point, an area popular for restaurants, bars, and nightlife. Illegal dirt bike riding is not a new issue. In fact, over the years, we've reported extensively on struggle by law enforcement to contain it and the danger it poses to people on the street. But for local businesses right now, it's yet another obstacle to overcome in the face of a pandemic that's put so many in financial ruin. We have team coverage of a city in crisis. We begin with Fox 45's Riel Creighton live in Fells Point. Riel?
Well, Kai, business owners tell me on a night like tonight, a busy Friday night like this, it usually is a deterrent. They say those dirt bikers usually like wide open spaces, but they say it can happen at any time. They show up popping wheelies, racing up and down this street next to people, next to customers. Business owners tell me it has them bracing for what happens next.
They're loud and they zip between cars, zip real close to the restaurant.
No concern whatsoever for the other people that are out here.
Well said.
For some businesses in Fells Point,
We've had it. Something has to give.
it's been too much. No warning, they say, when they show up
They come down here in large groups
and take over.
50 of them screeching, riding, wheeling.
This is not their playground.
They say dirt bikes driving business down, pumping up anxiety in the middle of Broadway Square. Business owners like Janai Wells, who worry scenes like this are scaring people away.
It's just making the area feel really bad.
Riding dirt bikes is illegal anywhere in the city of Baltimore, but it's often done in full view of police with little power to stop it. Department policy does not permit officers to chase the bikes, taking into account the risk to public safety. Last night, dozens of them. It is in Councilman Zeke Cohen's district. We reached out. We didn't hear back. We also called Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton. Her district, Park Heights, a known hotspot. We're still waiting. And Councilman Eric Costello, who's taken the issue on in Fed Hill, told us he's talked about it enough. Meantime, back in Fells Point, businesses under pressure, asking who can put on the brakes.
In the middle of a pandemic, like, go home. Go home.
So no answers right now for Fells Point, but after complaints, BPD is deploying increased resources in areas like Fed Hill, which have also been active for dirt bikes. They cannot chase them down, but they can use things like their helicopter, the Foxtrot, to follow them until those bikes stop, and then they confiscate them and effect arrests.
Baltimore is about to spend millions of dollars on its troubled water billing system. But just exactly what's broken? Fox 45's Jeff Abel is live with that story tonight. Jeff?
We are learning a lot tonight about those new smart meters, the water meters that are supposed to give the city an accurate reading of just how much water you're using. But what we're learning tonight is that in city after city, there are problems. It was 4 years ago when the city vowed that these digital wireless smart meters would be the answer to a flood of water bill complaints. But after the city spent $100 million installing them, it did little to quell the complaints.
January 2019, we got a water bill for more than $4,000 for 1 month.
I have a $5,000 water bill right now.
This week, city officials announced the layoffs of 63 water meter employees, claiming it will give their work to a private company. Now, those workers are insisting the problem with the city's water system is not their work, but with those new water meters, which they insist are defective.
They have been notifying management for years that this equipment was subpar. It's submerged. When it's submerged in water, they don't get reads.
It's not the first time smart meters have been the target of problems.
Today, the county started installing new water meters to replace more than 100,000 defective ones.
Not long after smart meters were installed in DeKalb County, Georgia, county leaders were replacing them after determining defects had caused water bills to soar.
It has hundreds of bills in dispute.
In nearby Atlanta, an audit determined 6% of its smart meters had defects.
$2,866.58.
And in San Diego, city leaders delayed their installation of smart meters after learning that many of the city's purchased meters were defective.
All of these meters are brand new. I mean, they're state of the art.
We're waiting to hear from city leaders in Baltimore about these problems, but earlier this week, Department of Public Works officials insisted the problems are not with the meters, but often with their installation, which is why it's turning to a private company to maintain them.
What happens is if the meter is installed, for instance, backwards, that gets a negative read, not a positive read. Water bills are going to be more accurate, and that when there are issues or disputes, that they're going to be resolved quicker.
And in many cities that do install these meters, we are learning water bills most always go up. Rarely do they go down.